And aloha out there in internet land. This is Tardis coming at you for the first time with a review of something I grew in my yard from seed. I got the seeds at tradewindsfruits.com, and this is the Fahrenheit Blues tomato. I just picked this in my yard moments ago. I grew this from seed. I purchased the seeds at that site. Now, as you all know, I'm getting into growing peppers and growing tomatoes. This is the first time I've ever grown something edible in my yard, and really it's the first time I've grown anything in years. And I have to say, I'm loving the results. I'm going to give this a try today. The reason I'm doing this is I look into a lot of these seeds. I look for videos of people trying different things and seeing what I want to grow. And I think that by reviewing the stuff I can't find online, like the Fahrenheit Blues tomato, you'll be able to make a better decision and just helping the community the way they've helped me. As you can see, I took some pictures picking it. Let me show it to you, and forgive me, I'm going to have to rotate this sideways. This is my plant. As you can see, I'm a first-time grower, so don't expect anything too expert level, but here you go. As you can see, there's some bluing at the bottom, some purpling of the leaves. The plant grew, what is this, about 4 feet high on top of the pot, and that's about it. It stayed relatively short, which is good, and it's the first one to produce tomatoes out of the 6 or so varieties I'm growing. As you can see, the fruits are nice cherry tomatoes. They're all very purple. The undersides are green, and when they turn red, it's time to pick them. Let's see, I'm going to rotate this again and show you some more pictures. Bear with me. There we go. That's the fruit after I picked it, the one I have right here right now. Very purple on top, just very purple. And the underside is red. That's how I knew it was ready to pick. The rest of them are all green. This is the side. As you can see, it kind of does that gradient from purple to red. These are the flowers on the plant. They don't grow upside down. It's my own technical error. This is what they look like growing up the side, awaiting more fruit. Here's a cluster that's not ripe yet. And here, as you can see, is the one I picked along with its sisters. It did rain today, as you can see. So it really gives a beautiful shot. Now, one thing about me, I don't really like tomatoes. I'm not huge on tomatoes. I like peppers, but I figured for salsas and things like that, I better grow out some tomatillos, I better grow out some tomatoes, I better mix things up a bit. So with this review, understand, I'm not someone who loves tomatoes. If I'm overly harsh of it, I'm just not a tomato guy. I do love ground cherries, however, and I have been growing ground cherries, which have been delicious as I do my gardening. So I'm going to pull the top off of this, and as you can see, the sunlight is what really makes the purple, because right there under the top where the sun doesn't hit, it's red. Okay, now I'm going to cut this in half, and let's take a look on the insides. Purple on the outside and bright cherry tomato red on the inside. Let's take a look at that. So you can see there's a lot of little seeds in there, a lot of flesh, very juicy. Now, I've been watching these tomato videos, and from what I understand, you're supposed to put salt on them to try them. I'm not a tomato guy. In fact, I probably couldn't even sit down and eat a full tomato. Just wouldn't do it for me. So I cut it into quarters. And let's find out what the Fahrenheit Blues from the Tradewinds Fruits seed grows into by an amateur first-time grower. So if you were to buy these, and you probably have a lot more experience growing peppers and tomatoes than I do, if you're watching this video, you would have a much better time growing this than I did. And I really love this plant. It's pretty much my favorite tomato plant because of how short it stays, how early it fruits. It's the first one to produce fruit for me in my garden. I have 6 plants. I have 6 different strains. All right, let's give it a try. Mm-hmm. Very cherry tomato, of course. A very average cherry tomato flavor. No, not too sweet. It is sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's not too acidic. It's very balanced. Balanced is what I would call this. It's a very balanced flavor. And it's got that slight tomatoey flavor, but it's good. It's very good. But it's just slightly above average what I would have in my salad at a really good restaurant. A cherry tomato in my salad. This would be great in salads. But it's a tomato. Try it with some salt. See how that does it. A little bit of salt on there. I hear that enhances the flavor. Once again, it's good enough to eat. It's it's got a nice taste. Just a nice taste. It's better than. It's maybe a tiny bit better, and maybe it's just because I grew it myself, but a tiny bit better than a cherry tomato at a salad bar. It's nothing special in the flavor department. It's beautiful. I think it's a very beautiful tomato. It really gives some great color to your yard. But and I might grow it again if I can figure out a good use for it with my peppers, because it is a good tasting cherry tomato. But it's just barely above average. I can't wait. I'm also growing the Indigo Rose and the Dances with Smurfs. So even though this one was the easiest to grow and least amount of problems and earliest fruiting, I'm going to have to take a look at those, because if either of those tastes better than this, and I'm not even sure if they're cherry tomatoes or not, but if either of them tastes better than this, then they're probably going to take the place. This doesn't taste bad, and like I said, I don't like tomatoes. This tastes pretty good. I don't know if I would eat a whole bowl of them. But it's a nice tasting tomato. And yeah, nice tasting tomato. Does what it's supposed to do. Nothing. It's quite productive in my garden, given I'm still new to this. Nothing's overly productive yet. It's good enough to grow, but not good enough to save in case of something better. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, and that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments or in the replies wherever you see this. I do a lot of online looking around for my gardening needs, so I will answer them. If you have any suggestions, if you've ever tried this and think that my review is right or think it's wrong, feel free to put in the comments as well. Like I said, I'm a first-time grower. In my experience of just trying tomatoes, which I don't like, this was good. It wasn't great. It's nothing special, but I did enjoy growing it. It is a nice one to grow. It's got purpling leaves. It's a lot easier to grow than the Indigo Rose or the Dances with Smurfs. And if you like salads, this would be a nice addition. But like I said, 3.5 out of 5. All right. Thank you guys, and aloha.